This video is sponsored by WeTransfer. Inside this journal, I've written down every single portrait photography tip since starting my professional career. Implementing these strategies in my own work has helped me hack the process of taking great portraits, making it much easier to get a great result. In this video, I'll open it up and share 5 of my favorite portrait photography hacks that hit different. In fact, the last time that I shared a video with some of the tips that I had in this book, it garnered over 1.3 million views. The crazy thing is, the ones in this video are even better. With that said, let's get started with our first one, which I call the exposure game. The goal of this game is to help you quickly identify what the correct settings would be when you're shooting in various environments and conditions. Grab your camera and let me show you how to do this. First, you'll want to grab an item that you have nearby, maybe a coffee cup, or in my case, an action figure. Place that item on a table near a window and ask yourself, if you were trying to take a photograph of it, what settings do you think would put you within 2 stops of the correct exposure? Here at my studio, the windows are tinted, and even though it seems like there's a lot of light based on the video, it's actually rather dark. Since we're in a low light situation, I'm going to guess my exposure settings should be f1.4, 1/100th shutter speed, and ISO 640. Now, using the spot metering mode on my camera, I could see that I was actually close. Turns out I was almost 2 stops from what the spot meter considered was the correct exposure. I've been doing this for a while, and it's a lot of fun guessing what the correct exposure would be in different situations, and as you start this habit, you'll see that you'll be able to get your settings close without even having to put the camera up to your face. As you get better at doing this, simply decrease your margin of error to maybe 1 stop, or even try getting the exposure right on the money. Learning to see things the way your camera sees them will be a game changer for your portrait work. The next hack on my list is to upgrade your social skills. Hear me out here because this is a big one. Oftentimes the things that keep us from getting great portraits isn't the camera or lens that we choose to use, but rather our ability to communicate effectively with other people. The words that you say and the way that you carry yourself during a shoot can have a bigger impact on your results than you might think. If you aren't able to carry a conversation with people that you're photographing and get them comfortable with the process of having their photo taken, whatever images you end up taking are probably not going to be as good as they could be. Many photographers are introverts by nature, but to be successful as a portrait photographer, you have to make this crucial upgrade. Every time you pick up a camera, you need to become a new being, one that is confident, decisive, and knows exactly what they want. As the old saying goes, believe it until you achieve it. I'm going to link to an audiobook that has been really helpful to many photographers that I know, and if you have some books that have helped you improve your social skills, let us know the name of that book in the comment section. And now, a word from our sponsor. Hey, I've got a quick question for you. How are you managing the delivery of your files? For years now, I've used WeTransfer to send and receive images just like many of you, but lately they've made some major improvements that make their service even better. Simplify the creative process by making it easier to give, receive, and keep track of feedback using WeTransfer portals and reviews. Using just one simple link, you can collaborate with your team and clients to get and give crystal clear feedback on your images, all in one place. I use WeTransfer portals to do exactly that, and it's really sped up this process for me. The best part is that with their premium subscription, you get unlimited storage with no size limit on transfers, not to mention that you can create an unlimited number of portals and reviews. With WeTransfer Premium, those links can be set to expire whenever you'd like, but I usually set them up with no expiration date so I don't have to upload them again in the future. Be sure to check out the link in the description for more details and start simplifying your own process using WeTransfer. Moving right along to the next tip, take a bokeh break. The narrative around the relationship between bokeh and portraiture has been that you want to shoot with those wide open apertures to separate your subject from the background. What if we try something else? Something that goes against the grain and makes our work stand out from the masses. Taking great portraits requires us to think differently. Instead of going into situations and thinking about how you're going to blur everything away, try closing down your f-stop to f4, maybe even f8, and start incorporating more of your environment to help tell a better story around your image. If you need some inspiration, pick up a fashion magazine like Vogue, Elle, Harper's Bazaar, and watch how some of the best photographers out there use their environments to help them make their subjects look even better. Nothing stands out more than being different, so consider shooting at different f-stops to make yourself a better, more versatile portrait photographer. The next tip is one that I've had to be intentional about, and that's to do at least one thing different than you would normally do at every photo shoot. You see, over time, as you become more comfortable with your process of taking photos, it's natural to become complacent and start approaching the process of taking portraits in autopilot. When this starts to happen over long periods of time, we start getting bored with our work and eventually hit that creative wall that affects so many of us. The best way to avoid that is to do at least one thing differently than you would normally do it. Perhaps it's using a different focal length that you'd normally never use, or maybe a different type of light modifier. Maybe using some different props for your shoots can get those creative juices flowing and help you to take your portraits to another level. No matter what the change is, just commit to doing one creative new thing every time you shoot, and you'll see that the well of creativity runs deeper than you might think. Now, some of us will have an easier time with this next tip than others, and that's to do more with less. When you're starting out, it's easy to say that the wall that's holding us back from taking that next great image is some piece of gear or software that we absolutely need. I could tell you firsthand that the more stuff that you have, the more you fall victim to analysis paralysis. When you have a bunch of different lenses or lights or whatever else to choose from, which one do you pick for the situation that you're in? When you have less stuff, it's easier to just grab whatever it is that you have and go to work. But if you're in that stage of your career where you have a ton of photography gear, try committing to using a specific lens for 30 days, or maybe exclusively shoot with one light modifier for a month. You'll find yourself coming up with creative ways to use those items to get better portraits more consistently. Let me know which one of these tips was your favorite in the comment section, and while you're there, do me a favor and leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already to be notified when the next video posts up. This next video is an oldie but goodie, and I promise you it will improve your photography. Make sure that you check it out, and I'll see you there.